Deadly floods soaked Chattanooga and North Georgia. We'll take a look at the hardest hit areas tonight.
Also, a proposed asphalt plant in Soddy Daisy. It's a major bump in the road. Is there any way around that? Those stories and more straight ahead on News 12 at 6.
You're watching News 12 at 6. This is the place for the latest news from around the Tennessee Valley and North Georgia.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kay Blevins.
I'm Andrew Harrison. Thank you for joining us. We've made it to News 12 at 6 on a Wednesday. And we'll get to all today's top stories in just a moment.
But first, here's our chief meteorologist, Austin Onek, with the latest look at our current weather situation.
Rain coming down across parts of the News 12 viewing area again. You may take a look at this and compare that to yesterday's deluge and say, well, big deal. Well, the problem is any more rain falling onto that saturated ground is not going to get soaked up by the ground.
We couldn't handle. A lot of scary moments last night playing out on national television in our community.
Again, police and fire were out there, in some cases public works, putting their lives at risk. And we can't thank them enough for their heroic work.
City and county officials say they were caught off guard by last night's flooding. 4 people are dead. Now the community is coming together to start pick up the pieces. This is Local 3 News at 11 o'clock.
This is Local 3 News at 11.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grace Kramer. Greg and Cindy are off tonight. We are getting a first look at the damage and destruction left behind from last night's extreme flooding. As of tonight, 4 people are confirmed dead. 3 died when a tree fell on the roof of an SUV just north on Southmore Road yesterday.
News Channel 9 at 11 starts right now.
Heavy rain led to severe flash flooding across Chattanooga last night, with 911 receiving over 400 calls for help. Thanks for watching. I'm Josh Rowe. You can see here in this video behind us here, vehicles are making their way through the floodwaters there, being stuck on I-24 there. Police on the scene working to rescue those stranded by the flood. Bystanders also stopped what they were doing to get others to safety. A former paramedic managed to rescue 3 people from a stranded car. News Channel 9's Ray Collado spoke with that man about what made him jump into action.
Before the trees sway, before the lights flicker, before the storm rumbles, our agenda is you.
That's why, starting August 16th, your First Alert weather team is doing something first for Atlanta.
Going completely local. When you need us, we're on.
To help you plan before, during, and after every storm, we're locked in on your safety like no one else. Atlanta News First. Our agenda is you.
Warning you.
Dangerous with potential tornadoes and damaging winds.
Informing you.
Significant damage. I'm actually inside of what's left of this garage.
Staying with you.
Crews work to put power lines back up.
Certainly thinking about all the people who got a lot to clean up.
Before, during, and after the storm, Fox 2 Weather and News. Complete coverage you can count on. A Navy sailor facing an incredible challenge.
He was like, well, you know what? This is your diagnosis. You have multiple sclerosis.
With his mother facing the same battle, see how he's fighting back. Tomorrow morning on Wavy News 10 Today.
Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, the July jobs report released this morning, sparking worries of a slowing labor market. The revisions to May and June's estimates that left economists stunned. Plus, 2 important tax-free holidays beginning today in the state of Florida, what they are and how long the savings are going to last. And the Trump administration announcing another round of tariffs, how the country's targeted and the markets are reacting. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Some relief from the heat is on the horizon for north central Florida as storms are expected to brew over the weekend.
You're watching WAFF 48 News on your side. This is breaking news.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Margot Gray. We start with breaking news out of Franklin County, as police confirm they're on the scene of a homicide investigation after the discovery of 3 bodies found in an apartment complex in Red Bay.
This is an ABC News special report. Trump-Putin summit. Now reporting, David Muir.
Good afternoon. Just before 3 p.m. here in the East, we're coming back on the air. The eyes of the world now locked on Anchorage, Alaska, where President Trump landed a short time ago. And news just moments ago, Vladimir Putin has now arrived for this high-stakes summit. Let's take a look at live pictures there from Anchorage, Alaska.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm John Dickerson with Margaret Brennan in Anchorage, Alaska. Some of you are expecting the CBS Evening News, but we are interrupting because President Trump and President Vladimir Putin of Russia are about to speak to reporters after today's summit.
And today's meeting closed doors, and it lasted about 3 hours.
Tonight on Alaska's news source, the world's eyes on Alaska. 2 world leaders touch down on American soil. Presidents Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. An historic meeting. Is it an opportunity for peace or a win for Russia?
I am not one who's expecting that there's going to be an announcement at some point tomorrow saying the war is over.
It's not words that matter to Putin, it's strength and power.
Tonight, Alaska's news source with continuing coverage for this summit in Alaska.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Historic, definitely the word for tonight.
And now, a special report. Summit in Alaska.
A historic handshake on Alaska's ground.
2 world leaders meet on Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson.
I expect that today's agreements will be the starting point, not only for the solution of the Ukrainian issue, but also will help us bring back business-like and pragmatic relations between Russia and the U.S.
We had an extremely productive meeting, and many points were agreed to. There are just a very few that are left. Some are not that significant. One is probably the most significant.
Breaking now at 10, the desperate search for 2 Metro Atlanta children now stretching into the late night hours.
And we have a first alert weather day continuing as storms are persisting in North Georgia tonight. I've got your weekend forecast straight ahead.
A gun brought into an elementary school by a student, and tonight parents are demanding answers and solutions.
And police say a man died in an Atlanta park while trying to rob someone at gunpoint. His family says that isn't the case.
Atlanta News First starts now with First Alert Weather.
We've got a First Alert Weather Day still pretty active tonight. I'm Blair Miller.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. First Alert meteorologist Isaac Williams here to give us a breakdown. Isaac?
Yeah, guys, still some showers and storms tonight. Thankfully, not in Metro Atlanta.
Right now at 11, a high-stakes meeting between President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, hoping to end the war in Ukraine. We're getting the voice of the community in Tampa Bay.
Members of Tampa Bay's Ukrainian community reacting to the summit in Anchorage, Alaska.
Everyone wants peace under the right circumstances.
On Tampa Bay tonight, why they say peace will be hard to achieve.
Plus, the peak of hurricane season fast approaching. And the big question on everyone's mind?
Are you ready for hurricane season? Do you feel like you're ready?
Especially after back-to-back hurricanes last year.
It's like a little traumatic, obviously. And then when I got back, I had to evacuate right away again.
New tonight, our anchor Paula Grown is amplifying your voice on your preparations, your nerves, and your lessons learned. And we're celebrating Winter Haven as Good Morning Tampa Bay goes on the road. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Wendy Ryan, and Tampa Bay Tonight starts right now. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin said they reached an understanding on ending the war in Ukraine after meeting for about 2.5 hours in Alaska today.
Environmental groups are sharing concerns over a proposed plan for a power plant in Colleton County, while leaders say the plan could impact their energy bill.
afternoon thunderstorms will be making another return for your upcoming weekend. We're also giving you the first alert to the latest on Hurricane Aaron and what this means for next week. I'll have more on this right here on Live 5 News at 11.
Now, from the Low Country's news leader, this is Live 5 News.
Well, thanks for joining us for Live 5 News at 11. I'm Samantha German. Low Country environmental groups are concerned about plans for a potential power plant in Colleton County.
Right now on the Channel 3 News at 11, President Trump says nothing is off the table as Vladimir Putin arrives in Alaska to talk peace amid the war in Ukraine. Will the meeting be successful? Plus, Vermont's governor rejects our second request to deploy the state's National Guard soldiers to D.C. Reaction to the move. And a Vermont chef back in the kitchen after a knife attack. What he's saying now after his assailant is deemed incompetent to stand trial.
It was just a gorgeous day out there today. Much lower humidity, so that was refreshing. A nice start to the weekend, warmer. Then it gets a little more active for Sunday. The first alert forecast is coming up in a few minutes.
Live from Vermont's own WCAX, the Channel 3 News at 11 starts now.
President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin met for several hours today to discuss the war in Ukraine. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kiana Burks. Trump said he and Putin didn't reach a deal to end Russia's war in Ukraine, but Putin said they had come to an understanding.